Like literally, your family member had to die for you to have a day off. Unexpected. Like you have to have a death in the family. You're a fucking grinder. You're a hustler, bro. I'm a grinder. I'm a hustler. But you have to understand, not everybody is. What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Los Cut It, and you're in the cut. But first, let me introduce you to my homie Ruben.
Episode 3, right? 4. It's we got another banger for y'all, and we had our last episode. We had my homie Vic Pondia pull up. Amazing episode. It was great. But now this is a new episode, and it's actually one of your people. So I'm gonna pass it back to you so you can introduce them.
All right, guys. My boy Loso, aka Carlos Rivera, became from a client to an apprentice, and now he's running Official Cuts Barbershop and has been doing it for a long time. So let me introduce you guys, the one and only Loso. What up, baby?
What up?
Man,
my brother?
thank you for coming, bro.
No, I appreciate you.
How you
having
feeling?
me. Man, I feel great. Miss
you
you,
liking
man.
the spot?
I love the space. It's fucking phenomenal.
Nice, man. Well, yeah, dude. What I'm going to do, I'm going to let you start off, and I'm going to let you share your story on that. And if I feel like you missed a couple things, or if there's a couple things that I could add and finesse in there, because I know Ruben has no clue, right? You don't know what's going on.
I don't even know what an apprentice is, so go crazy.
So, yeah, share your story, man. How did that happen? Do you remember?
Yeah, man. I tell the story a lot, actually. I just remember, I was a client of yours for a very long time. I lived in the neighborhood, was coming to the shop since I was like in middle school. And I just kept coming, everybody was cutting my hair. And one day you asked me to be a model for you for a show in Vegas. And
Damn, you're right.
yeah, it was for a show in Vegas. I was working a minimum wage job. I was a young kid. I don't even think I was. Oh,
You were in high school.
I was 21.
Oh, damn.
I was just barely turning 21.
So I was cutting your hair while you were that young, right?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
Yes. So I was 21, and I remember you asking me to be a model. You said you would take care of, half my flight, and stay would be taken care of and all that. And I was like, well, yeah,
I remember that show.
first time in Vegas? Oh, shit, hell yeah. So it was me, you, and Andy, and from there on, we went to the hair show. You had bigger plans for the show. You were supposed to do something there, probably showcase or something. You ended up just not doing it or something like that, and just pretty much just enjoying the time there with each other. But going there kind of like sparked up a lot of things in my mind, because I was a very creative person. I was going to college for art, doing all kinds of stuff. But going there, I was like, yo, you guys cut hair and party? Like all the time? This is all you guys do? And so the trip, plenty of stories to tell from the trip, of course. It was a few days of just no sleep at all. But we came back. I had remembered my brother had a pair of Walmart clippers. They actually were with the color guards and all that.
We're gonna bleep that out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bleep that
yeah,
out.
my bad.
It's so good.
But I grabbed that, and I had one straight razor that just slid out, and that was it. No liners, no shaver, no nothing. And I took that, called a couple of my guys up, cut their hair, took pictures, and then the next time I came to get a haircut, I showed them to you, and you thought I had been cutting hair for a while now. Mm-hmm. And he asked me, what did I use? I showed him what I used. He's like, there's no way you did all that. He's like, how long did it take? And I'm like, I don't know, like an hour each, maybe, hour and a half each. He goes, I don't believe you. So I brought my stuff, and I was like, yeah, this is it. Straight razor, a blade, clipper, and that was pretty much it. You offered to teach me. And at first I was in like this stage of my life where I was like scared to make changes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was really young and didn't really have too much guidance at that time. So when I was presented with this, I'm like, I don't know. But a couple months later, I think it was like in January, February, I said, you know what, let's just do it. Told you, and you said, all right, cool. So then I started learning from like end of February, because I remember I started like maybe a week or two before my birthday. Mm-hmm. And then I learned for 3 months straight. And then May 29th of that same year.
What year was it?
Well, now it's going to be 9 years, I think.
9 years, wow.
So I'm 30, about to be 31, and I started 21, turning 22.
Okay.
Got hired May 29th, and I started cutting hair, and then the rest is history.
So let me fill in a couple gaps, because it's crazy how things, like how you remember it one way and I remember another way.
Right, absolutely.
So this is how it happened, Ruben. This guy was he was a shop client. You used to work at Peppo's.
Yes.
Yeah, which was a
Sandwich spot.
Sandwich spot. You cut your boss's hair. That swole dude. He had a mohawk.
Yeah.
That's what he had.
That's right.
And the cool thing about Carlos was that This guy let me do it. He was one of those clients that lets you do anything you want. He was like our guinea pig. And this is at the time where enhancements was a thing. It was just starting to be a thing. So he would literally, you see that beard he has now? He didn't have that as a kid.
I had no beard.
No beard. And I'm gonna drop a little video because I got clips of all that of what he looked like.
Please don't get the default pic.
But this guy will let me do one of the most creative cuts. I mean, everything on him. But one day I'm cutting his hair, and at the time he was like, yeah, we went to this Vegas trip, and he was like. It opened his eyes. He was like, holy shit, like this barber game is dope. Like you guys get to do this and do that. So without any of us knowing, he comes in, I'm cutting his hair, and he's like, look what I did on my boss's hair. So his boss, it was a white dude, swole as hell, and he had like a mohawk. Now, one thing about me is that I always like to say is that I feel like I have a good eye when I see people. If I see potential in people, in anything you do, I go towards it. I seen the haircut that he did. Now, I could tell somebody like, if a random person just started cutting hair, I can tell if they have it in them or not. Yeah, you can teach people shit, but sometimes people just have it. Same thing as you, right, Ruben? You can see somebody go on stage. Just for example, like when you saw me direct somebody and you just knew, like, damn, Los, you got that in you. You know how to direct, right? So I see this haircut of his boss is in the bathroom, no cape. just hair everywhere and everything. But what I focused on was how he blended that mohawk.
It was our bathroom for the restaurant.
So it was just a good blend. And I was just like, oh, damn, that's dope. You did that. He's like, yeah. I'm like, what you use? And then he showed me these busted ass clippers.
Wow.
Like older clippers. And they were the ones with the colorful clips. So if you were a barber, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Colorful clips. And then I'm like, wait, that's all you use? I'm like, nothing else. He's like, no, that was it. And I looked at the cut and I'm like, hold on. I zoomed in on it. I'm like, damn, I'm like, how do you, and then, and then I got to start asking him, like, how do you feel about, like, you like cutting hair? He's like, yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm like, you think it's something you'd be into? He's like, hell yeah. And I remember telling you these exact same lines. I'm like, Los, if you're really down, bro, give me a year. Give me a year. I'll show you how to cut hair. And I guarantee you in a year, because at the time I think we were breaking down your money. I was like, what do you make at the restaurant? You were like, I make this much.
It was nothing.
It was nothing.
Nothing.
And I'm like, you make that every 2 weeks? We're like, yeah. I'm like, all right, listen. If you give me a year, bro, I'll show you how to cut hair. And I guarantee in a year, you'll be making at least this much a week. And he was like, run it. And then, dude, I mean, the rest was history. This guy, I ended up leaving official cuts part-time, for part-time, so I go to cosmetology school and get my license. And he ended up going right after me, and we went there. And from there, he just became a beast. And he started, I mean, speaking today, you're running official cuts. You're still the manager there, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to official cuts and everybody in there. I know you guys are going to probably watch this at the shop.
Yeah, we will.
So shout out to all you guys in there, man. Salute to everybody in there.
Love y'all, man.
For real. So just it's crazy, man, how impactful that was on both ends because, I mean, seeing you from me, seeing something in you, and then you just running with it, and then you're just a sick-ass barber now, bro. Yeah. You're just a savage.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that you were at such a different stage. You know, I got to give my flowers to my brother here because...
Thank you, sir.
If you guys think, like, he's always been like this, yeah, he's always been, like, the same person work ethic-wise, but his skill's always been there, but it just doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop. Like, you know, it's real corny to say this, but, like, you know, if you ever watch Dragon Ball and, like, Saiyans, they just keep getting, like, stronger and stronger and stronger. It's just, he just kept getting better and better and better in every aspect that I'd never even, like, he couldn't even tell me that he would be here 10 years ago, you know, but I knew he had that vision before. So I had to just run with it. You know, he wasn't the same educator that he is today then. You know, so learning from him then was a lot harder than if you were just to teach me now from scratch.
Wow.
So like even that goes to show just the type of commitment we had toward each other at that time, especially because it was a stepping stone for you to keep going in the direction that you ended up being, which is educating around the entire world, to now me, you know, I'm learning how to run a business. I'm learning how to run a shop. I'm learning how to deal with multiple different personalities, you know, the back end, the front end, every end that I could possibly think of. And in the beginning, I learned all of the social media stuff because that's when social media started popping off. And I'm like, wow, that's incredible the way it shifted. And now I'm back on social media now, and I'm able to step away from doing all the shop chores and paying attention to all the intricate stuff of the shop. But now I have people at the shop. Hey, I need this done. Hey, I need that done. Hey, this is the schedule. I need you guys to make sure that this is done when it needs to be done. So it's kind of surreal seeing the same clients come in from 10 years ago, right? And then they're looking at me like they were looking at you 10 years ago.
That's crazy.
And now I have new people that we're training, that we're teaching, that, like this haircut. Shout out to my guy, Cody.
Shout out Cody.
Just graduated Official Cuts Academy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to give this kid a shot.
Cody, for what it's worth, man.
My hair's hard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But Cody,
hard.
for what it's worth, when I saw his haircut today, because obviously he came in, I'm like, ooh, fresh. I thought Jack did it right off the bat. I was like, oh, Jack got you fresh. And he was like, no. Cody did that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now, Ruben has been trying to get into barbering.
Really?
Any advice for him?
No, hey, so
You might as well, Ruben. You're so deep.
bro,
You feel like you've been thinking about this for a while.
Look, here's the thing, bro. I get around you guys because I was just at the Midwest Trade Show, and obviously, dude, you get around a lot of great people, a lot of great souls, and it's much more than barbering, and that's what I love. I met a couple owners that are just. They have a mission, and it's dope. Now it doesn't just stop at haircuts. Absolutely. It's out in the communities. It's out to get people together. So I think that's dope. And dude, I look at Los's gadgets all the time, bro. I'm like, bro, that's sick. Like if
He's
Los
always got the top notch.
If Los ever gifted me like a pair of clippers, bro, like I will learn how to come out here type of thing because like it's that like intricate. Because then
so you don't own a pair?
No.
Oh, dude, I got you. I'm gonna bless you.
So
come on, man.
No, my bad.
So no, check this, bro. So, like, I always see their setups. And, like, you go to your shop, you see their clippers on the thing. But now, when you see all of their clippers lined up, it's like, aesthetic-wise, it's pleasing to see that all their ammunition is, like, right there. It's literally, all their razors, all their pomade, all their everything. I'm like, man, that's dope. And, ever since, beginning, meeting Los and being part of this podcast, bro, I just grown so much more of a respect, and I actually take 10 minutes when I see on TikTok when someone's arguing about someone's price. I'm always the first person to comment there. If you broke, just say that.
Absolutely.
Because I got the blessing from Lowe's, and I understand why he charges what he charges. Because it was an experience, bro. And so anytime that you go online or anybody and they know like, hey, bro, my price isn't $50. It's and seeing in the comments, bro, I see a lot of people complain. They're like, cuts shouldn't be more than $20. I'm like, y'all just mad because they realize their worth.
Well, to bring it, here's the thing. I do charge $200 a haircut, but there's a reason why I charge $200 a haircut, right? When I was full time behind a chair, I was charging $100. Now, $100 for someone at the level that I was at, that I was always busy and all that, the demand was high. $100 is reasonable. Like people would be like, "Oh, that's $100 now," right? What made me do $200 was because when I was at $100, you guys probably don't even know this. I was charging when I was in Oakland. I had my Oakland studio. I was charging $100 a haircut. I would have people, and that's when I was on Booksy. I was on a booking app. And I would have so many people book. Now, at the time, I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I'm getting 4 or 5 new bookings a week. And I'm like, bro, that's $400 or $500. Hell yeah, right? And I would get people that would fly in from, like, New York, people that would drive from, like, Iowa, Indiana. And in my head, I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Because when it hit me was this one guy that flew in from New York, booked an appointment, flew in from New York, and he came upstairs. In Oakland, I had the studio upstairs. And he comes in, and I'm like, oh, man, what's up? What brings where you from? He's like, oh, New York City. I'm like, oh, shit. No, what you doing out here? He's like, man, I'm flew in for a haircut. And I was like, damn, you flew in just for a haircut? He's like, yeah, bro. And I'm sitting there cutting this man's hair, and he's picking my brain. He's asking me questions about this, questions about that. What would you do with this? What would you do with that? And I'm just like, okay. And then he's like, hey, man, I got my family in the car. Do you mind if they come up here and wait? I'm like, yeah, dude, what? Your family's in the car this whole time? Yeah, tell them to come up. They come up. I shit you not. It was his girlfriend, his mom, his tia, his cousin, and I'm trying to find his phone.
Here,
the whole family.
Here's mine, bro.
They all walk in my Oakland studio like this, right?
Wow.
And I'm like, whoa, what's going on here, And then it hit me after he left. I never saw that man again.
Really?
And then I did the math, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting pimped out for $100. People are paying $100 to get a fucking haircut from me, to prick my brain, to sit for an hour, to take photos, to do this and do that, and then never see me again.
Wow.
And that's when I was like, it isn't just a haircut. I feel like I was worth more. So it's for me to cut that nonsense out, I went up to 200. Because now anyone that books me at 200 isn't really doing it to, oh, let me get an hour with Los. Or let me get an hour with this person. Let me pick his brain. He's only gonna Now anyone that books me for 200 got the money to pay 200. Wow. Now let me share something with you guys. And I say this all the time. When your clients are people that don't stress about money, then it doesn't matter what you charge.
Absolutely.
But when people are on the comments on a study saying, I would never pay $100. That's crazy. Who pays this? Then listen, dude, with all due respect, you're not the type of client I'm here for. You know, there's a reason why barbershops charge $25, $35. Those are your people. But believe me, there are people out there that even though I charge $200, they throw me $250, $300, and they want to come in here. I got a guy, shout out Dakota. This guy comes in here. One of my best clients, pays premium, and it'll be like him, his guy, and me and Ricky, 4 guys. And he's like, yo, you guys hungry? You guys hungry? And I'm like, okay, you, what's up? He's like, you want pizza? I'm like, yeah, all right, cool. Knock comes on the door, and there's 2 extra large pizzas with wings. 2 extra large pizza. What do? They eat a quarter of one pizza, and then when they leave me and Ricky with a whole pizza. And I'm just like, nah, bro, I'm not going to eat all this. Then he comes next time, and he's like, you guys hungry? I'm like, look, Dave, you're going to order that? Just order 1 medium pizza. Because then you leave me all this food, and I'm not going to eat pizza for 4 days in a row.
I'm going to be gassy all day.
Yeah, bro, you know how it is.
Send it my way, bro. Ricky, you text me next time that y'all got leftover pizza, and I will drive by after a show.
Bro, you know.
So he's like, all right, I'm like, order a medium pizza just for us. There's only 5 of us. You don't need to go crazy. He's like, cool. An hour later comes, I get a knock on the door, he orders the same shit. And then when I call him out and he's like, I know, Los. That's how I am. That's what I do. So when you get people like that just genuinely just don't care about money, the price isn't the issue. Mm-hmm. And and another reason why I charge that much is because I make a living outside the chair now. Mm-hmm. I'm no longer behind a chair. Now, if I was behind a chair, it'd be a different story, right?
Absolutely.
But I just wanted to clear that up because a lot of people do hate and they think that I'm being greedy. But no, it's not being greedy. It's just that if people want a haircut, that's the price. You don't have to. If not, you can. What do you charge right now, Los?
So right now I'm charging $65, and it's crazy that we're talking about this topic because I just posted a video. Actually, it was Victorino's audio. I don't know if
you know what it was when I seen that video. I'm like, man, that dude sounds familiar.
It's Victorino.
I clicked on the audio and it was Victorino.
It's Victorino. But when I heard what he said, you know,
it was in Spanish.
It was in Spanish. It was pretty much him saying the way I impersonated and took it. It was pretty much, hey, if you're a barber, keep going, push. You know, charge your 30, your 40, your 50, your 60, your 100, 200, 300 house calls. It don't matter. Whatever you feel you're worth, charge it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And a lot of the comments, like you said, got a lot of backlash from it. And I'm reading these things like, okay, where are these people from? Because that's a big thing. You know what I mean? We talk about we're blessed to be able to charge $100, $200, $65 for me just for a haircut. But it is the experience that I feel a lot of people around the world are not getting. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes us so valuable. It's something that you taught me very early on. You have to make the experience valuable for you to charge more. You know what I mean?
Not even that. Listen, there's experience as in some people like to get pampered.
Exactly.
And then there's the experience where like, dude, I can show up at 1 p.m. and Los is ready for me.
Absolutely.
And I get in and out because I got shit to do. Yep. And that was where I took it. Because here's the thing. You can get barbers that sit there and massage you and wash your beard and give you a facial, a black mask. And don't get me wrong, there's people out there that like that. Yeah. But then there's people out there that are like, yo, like, give me in and give me out.
Get out of here,
yeah. And they would pay you top dollar for that experience. Yep. So
you just got to know your clientele. You know what they need. And it's crazy that he says that about timing too. I have such an anxiety with Los. Part of when I was an apprentice, I don't know. When I was an apprentice, I was on his shoulder like a parrot. I was watching, he moved, I moved with him.
Yeah, like there was times where I would just be like,
you know, if I wandered, like my eye for like a split second wandered to the TV, is that TV more important right now? You know what I mean? So I'd be like, perfect. But see, that's the thing. I loved that because I came from more of a disciplined background. So for me to get checked like that, it wasn't like he was bashing me or telling me I wasn't good. I took it and ran with it. I was like, yes. But see, now I'm like that. Now everybody who's learning from me, I'm like, oh, that TV looks real nice, doesn't it? I just
Right.
just bought it. I put it up in the shop right now. How you think? And they're like, oh, damn, you know. And it's crazy. You, Yak, G, you know, all the OGs. I feel like all the people that I've learned from is like made me who I am today as a boss, as a friend, as a person in general. And, you know, when you don't have guidance like that, it's a little hard as just a regular barber to come up out of nowhere and say, I'm going to charge $65 and have the worst attitude in the world.
Or feel like they're entitled. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's just not how it works. You got to come with the whole package when you're starting to charge stuff like that. So,
Ruben, let me ask you this. Do you guys have like some type of apprenticeship when it comes to comedians?
Ooh, that's a good
Do you
question.
take anyone on and be like, yo, are you kind of funny? Let me show you the
question.
ropes.
So there's a comedian, Renee Vaca, popped off.
Okay.
He's touring like crazy all around now. Ken popped off. Renee was already getting booked at all these shows. Ken needed that. And so now Renee and him connected, and now Renee, they both have shows together. Renee brings them to the shows that he's headlining for his feature. So it's a similar aspect. Got somebody that's already has a platform, sees somebody with potential, and they're gonna be like, hey man, just feature for me. And a lot of the times, bro, feature is the grunt work, bro. We don't really necessarily get paid, nor do we get our travel covered. You know what I'm saying? It's just to put us in the position to win, to get people on stage, and to get people their first time headlining, get people their first time performing, and you know, just get in it with us. And so yeah, no, it definitely our aspect of that is when we see somebody who's funny and we have a headlining show.
Keep them around.
We know exactly.
Relationships are super important.
Exactly, bro. Because I know for a fact when I start headlining, I already got 2-3 young cats that I know that, hey, bro, slide with me. Come on, you good? Slide with me. You know what I'm saying? Because you reach one, you teach one, and hopefully they become better than you. You feel me?
That's crazy that you say that, because Los, the one thing I always used to say, man, I was like, man, how do I pay this guy back? You know, like this guy literally gave me a door, told me to walk through it, and I just kept going, right? And throughout my career, you may not know this, but I was like, everything I do will essentially, how do I say this, like reflect upon him. You know what I mean? Everything, to the way I talk, to the way I interact with people, to the opportunities I turn down, to the opportunities I don't take, to the everything. And although in the beginning, a lot of people may not see it as, you know, pressure.
Yeah.
It was a lot of pressure.
That's one of the cool things, bro, that like, especially, you know, being the type of person that Los is, being the type of person that Yak is, like, they are just a ball of information. And if you are ready to receive it, they are willing to give it.
Absolutely.
And bro, like I said, you got two of the most dominant people in your circle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't lose, bro. Like,
Yep. And that's what he said. He's like, the best thing you can do, and the only thing probably he's told me at the time you can do is just keep paying it forward.
Oh, of course.
Keep paying it forward. And since then, I've had maybe two apprentices, you know, and a lot of this I try to like do on my own just to kind of feel it out. And I know you've done that too before, the whole social media thing. You kind of felt out a couple people, and I enjoyed it. I loved it, and I understood where the teachings came from it, because now I'm over here worried about, yo, where's this guy at?
Right.
How serious is this guy taking it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Granted, I wasn't like that at all. I was, whenever you needed it, Dunkin' Donuts, I was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally.
So,
did we ever call you like half sack?
yeah.
Sons of
You ever
Anarchy,
watch
did you ever
that?
watch
Nah.
that? So
Oh,
what were they called? They weren't an apprentice.
Um,
They were called like, I guess you could say an apprentice. Like we used to call those half sacks just because of that. It was crazy as
Prospect.
they were prospects.
That's what it was.
So with Carlos, when we finally crowned him, we did it like
Oh, you
Rockefeller.
gotta put that video up.
I'm gonna go deep in
If not, I'll send it to you.
You got it still?
Yeah, I got it. It's on my profile.
We had to put a chain like Rockefeller Nation. We put it like they did a Kanye.
I still have that chain.
Yeah, I gave him the chain. It had the little razor blade on him, and he didn't know. He came in just like a regular day, like it was an apprenticeship.
Yep.
And that was the day we felt like he was ready, because whenever he wasn't watching us, we would throw him somebody, or he would bring somebody and he would cut, and he would just get better and better. And you just know when you know, just like somebody goes up on stage, you know when they're ready.
oh yeah.
And we took him outside, and I forgot what we said to him. The video's there. I'll get the video.
I remember I was sweeping the shop. And all of a sudden there's like, you know, there's 10 chairs in this shop, bro. And everybody one by one just starts going outside.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, the hell? There's no clients in the shop. I'm sweeping up. And then they call me outside. I'm like, damn, something happened. They're probably about to let me go. I didn't do something right. You know, like I was freaking out in my head.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they thought about that, but I was freaking out. So I go outside, and then they try to pull a prank on me. They're like, "Hey, we think someone's been stealing from the shop," and I'm over here like, I didn't do it, bro. Like, I'm freaking
No
out.
cameras at the shop either.
No cameras. So I'm like, I didn't do it. Like, of course it's gonna be me. I'm the newest person, right?
Uh-huh.
No, they're like, no, we're just kidding, because they saw me like getting red. They saw me getting red. They saw me sweating. It was hot out, by the way, that day.
Yeah,
so
it
let's
was
not blame
summer
it
day.
all on the situation. It was hot.
That was
And-
nervioso, bro. Está bien.
All right, I'll take it. But then they crowned me with the chain, and that was
And it was one of
probably
them, back in the day, them long
Yeah,
ass chains.
long
and
ass
shit.
chain with the nice fold out razor blade
Yeah.
holder, and those are one of those like core memories.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
just you can picture it as if it was in front of me.
What
right
song
now.
was they playing?
The one for Fast and the Furious, the
Which
the
one?
Paul Walker one.
Nah, dude, that was way before Paul Walker. You
Yeah,
probably
but-
had that Suavemente in your head. Besame. No, I'm telling you.
That's
so,
true. That
I'm
was
a
a long
ball.
time
That
ago.
was a long time. I think that was like 08, 09, give or take. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh,
Dude,
they
I'm
had to
not-
play Meek
Let's
Mill.
do the math.
No, but you've been doing here only
Nine-
9 years.
9 years.
2013, 2014, give or take.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
How old are you,
that's
bro?
about right. I'm 30. I'll be 31 next month.
Cool.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yeah,
31.
3 kids, a wife, family,
So-
and all that.
It's crazy you say that. So, no, don't get me wrong. I'm sure, dude, your beautiful wife, your kids. I mean, I think my job, my career, and everything that I've done that you've seen me do had a lot to do with me not settling down, man, and not having
Absolutely.
kids because I'm always on the go. It's hard, you know.
Absolutely.
When obviously you started working at Official because you became one of us. You were no longer treated like a prospect. You were literally one of us. You jumped into Paul Mitchell. You got your Cosmo license. You elevated immediately. Like you surpassed a lot of people in the barbershop immediately. To me, even when we were in barber school, man, a lot of people loved you, man. You just had that energy in you that you were just attracted people like heavily. And I saw a lot of potential in you. And I remember even being in school with you thinking to myself, like, dude, you're going to get far. Because even though I was moving up rank, I was in cosmetology school when Babel is called. I was already part of a company, level 3. Back then, I was already doing my thing. This guy was catching up quick. And then you ended up obviously getting married. You had a kid and all that. And you kind of just fell back and started, managing the shop and all that. Do you ever... Obviously, you don't regret it. I know
No,
you don't.
absolutely
But
not.
do you ever think, like, damn, imagine if I would have kept going, how far or how different your life could have been?
No, absolutely not. Because these experiences, I graduated in December. I don't remember what year it was, but let's just put.
2017.
Okay, so around that year, literally like 2 months later, I had already bought an engagement ring.
Oh, shit.
You know what I mean? So I don't ever regret any decisions I've ever made, because I remember the first major decision I ever made was to learn to cut hair. And I knew how that turned out. And it turned out phenomenal. And it still is phenomenal. So when I decided to settle down, of course, it was in the back of my head, what's going to happen if I settle down or this and this and that. But it was never a doubt that I wasn't making the right decision.
He wasn't for the streets.
Wasn't for the streets. But the background I come from, my mother raised me by herself. I didn't grow up with any siblings. My brother's 11 years old. By the time I was old enough, he was already gone. So I didn't grow up with like a tight-knit family.
Right.
So when I met my wife,
You yearned that. You wanted
I was
that.
like, yo, this is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And
Me vas a llorar, bro.
No mames,
so
güey.
sweet. It's so sweet.
But I went at it full force, just like I went with cutting hair. I learned a lot. I learned how to go from being, a single man to a man in a relationship, to being a man in a marriage, to being a husband, to being a fiance, and it's all different levels, just like cutting hair, just like being a comedian. All of these things take you to a different place and make you a different type of person.
Right.
So every, different strokes for different folks, of course. Everybody has to take the specific path that is meant for them. But it's the biggest blessing I've ever had. And honestly, without the struggle of having to provide for a family of 5, because now I have 3 kids, my daughter Leda, Raiden, and my oldest Jeremiah.
Beautiful
and
babies,
my
bro.
wife being a stay-at-home mom for so many years, and learning how to deal with the pressure of providing. I loved it. I love pressure. Like, if you put me under pressure, it's just like, I got it. Especially if you put me on the spot. I just loved it. So growing and learning with her, with my kids, and trying to give them everything I couldn't, or I didn't have, or that my mom tried to, but it just didn't work that way for us. It was more rewarding for me than if I would have waited in my path.
That's how I feel about my 3rd baby mama, because she is so good.
Wait a second. Do you have?
Nah, I'm kidding. Nah,
I knew the joke was there. I just
hey,
couldn't figure out where the joke was.
Speaking of family,
season, so it means well.
Speaking of family, bro, I've been staring at your shirt this whole episode. What the hell is that? Is that your pops?
Yeah. So
Dude, is that you?
Yep, that's my daddy. That's me and my older brother.
Get out.
Yeah,
That's dope.
That's a
what
cool ass shirt.
They won. Sorry, my stretch marks.
All right, another question.
And but yeah,
Another question. Hold on. From here, I may be wrong, but does your dad have a chupon?
Yeah, he has my chupon in his mouth. Yeah, man. I'll be honest with you, brother. Like, I had almost the complete opposite, bro. Like, my mother, my father, like, they were the most healthy relationship that I've ever seen in my life, and that's really the only thing. Really, they are the only people that make me believe in true love. I've been around toxic relationships all the time, so when I hear about good marriages, and I think that's dope. But my dad and my mom are like my rock. You know what I'm saying? They're my everything. And dude, you can even see at Lady Krill's episode, I looked depressed because my father or my mother did not respond to me for like a day and a half.
Wow.
And I was embarrassed to admit that, like, that, because even Los asked me, he was like, "Bro, you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I didn't want to say this because my mom ain't talk to me, bro. Like, I don't know, I just did it. Yeah, but yeah, no, like, you could literally see, you go to Lady Curls episode, there's sometimes that I'm literally like this, bro. I'm like, I'm freaking out.
I had to hold a lot of that weight, and you know what? It wasn't that he was slacking. It just I knew something was off. So we were just like, I had to call him. I was like, "Yo, you good?" What to me, what I thought was, I didn't think you realized that the cameras were always on you. So there was times where we go wide, like right now, Ricky go wide, right? We will go wide while Lady Curls was talking, and then Ruben's just like this, just on his phone. And I was like, "Yo, no, come back to her, come back to me."
So my mom lost her phone. And then my dad leaves his phone at home all the time, bro. So when he's working.
Okay.
So my dad worked all day, went to bed. You ever get mad at your parents for like how they used to give you, "Why did I buy you a cell phone if you don't answer?"
Yes.
I'm like, "Why? ¿Por qué tienes celulares y no me responden?" Like,
Everything having to do with technology. I have such a short fuse with my mom and technology.
Bro, like, because the thing is, if they call you, what do you gotta do? Pick up.
Oh, automatic.
If you call them, it's like they have a choice.
Right.
Like,
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I raised him already. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. So that's one thing, man.
If he needs me, he'll call me more
right.
times.
He'll text me.
Yeah.
So man, family's everything, bro. I'll say that off the bat,
absolutely.
man. Definitely, I'm very, very fortunate to have the amazing father that I did. Dude was a second grade dropout. He knows 4 languages, bro. Like my dad is a monster when it comes to everything. Cause you made that choice. You were like, bro, you didn't even skip a beat, bro. When he asked you that, he was like, "No regrets."
Yeah.
That's what it is. And
So, I mean, speaking of true love, bro, I mean, you're happily married. Obviously, you guys, you just went on a recent vacation, or was that an anniversary or something?
That was our first vacation ever.
Wow.
Like, we've been together
Dope.
for 7 years.
7 years.
And that was our first vacation together alone.
Wow.
Ever.
So I have to, you don't have to answer, but I have to ask, for the people that don't believe in love, how did you meet your wife? Say it.
Oh,
Because
man.
hey, some people, like I said, some people might not.
No,
I
I
want to
give
hope.
say it.
You
I
wanna
want
give
to
hope.
say it. Yeah, they better actually get a commercial with me. Tinder.
Tinder.
I met my wife
Met her on
Tinder.
Tinder, bro.
Yes,
I met my
sir.
wife
And I
on
remember
Tinder.
that clearly the day he met her, like the week, because
Yes,
he was
sir.
telling me about, we were in school. We were in
I was
Palm
like,
Beach.
no, this is the one.
I was like, bro, my first
She
and
liked
second,
me. She swiped right.
my first and second baby mama, bro, was on Chispa, so I understand. But yeah, nah,
Mi
bro.
gente.
Mi
Hey,
gente,
no,
oh.
real shit though.
Oh,
Like, how was the experience? Like, what was on her profile? Okay, do you read the descriptions?
No, dude.
No, you don't.
Do
okay,
you?
I
telling
did.
me?
I
did.
gotta
did.
make sure she ain't a Leo, bro. Because the thing is,
Damn, what's wrong with Leos, bro?
You know
Well,
what I'm
dude, you're a Pisces. You get
Yeah.
you get along with Leos, right?
Yeah, I get along with everybody. Pisces like blend in with the
Yeah, you
entire
guys-
world, and it's whatever their environment is, that's what we're on to.
Yeah, Pisces are fishes.
We
Dude,
just
and I just
flow-
realized.
we just flow with the
I
water.
just realized Pisces.
Yep.
Pisces.
Yep.
I got an older brother, 37, two younger
Pisces.
sisters. March 2nd, March 3rd, March 4th, all Pisces. And I'm like, damn, my whole world is around
Bunch
Pisces.
of fishes, bro.
Bunch of fishes.
Bunch
But
of
them shit, I'm
fishes.
the only lion in this motherfucker.
That's okay.
You eat 'em.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
It's okay. You know?
I'm a crab. It's cool.
Yeah,
Well-
what is, oh, you're a
Cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah,
my
emotional.
wife, yeah.
Emotional as hell.
Oh, yeah, my wife's a Cancer.
Yeah, you guys hold grudges, bro. Let it go. Hey, Ruben, let it go.
Hey,
Let it
take
go.
the camera
Let
off
it
me real
go.
quick. Take the camera off me real
Let
quick.
it go. All right, Lo, so as an apprentice, I don't even know if that's even a thing nowadays. I don't hear about it in the industry as much. I don't hear about people. I went to a school in Dallas. Yeah, last month. I did actually a couple weeks ago. I was just in Dallas. I went to a school and there was just like, it's amazing how young these people are now. Like it was all these Edgar haircuts, like 15, 16 years old. And I remember asking these students, and I was like, before I say, because they were like, Los, can you stop at school? We just need 10 minutes, man. Just say something encouraging. And one thing about me is that I always keep it real, bro. If I'm gonna go in there, I'm not gonna sit here and sell anybody dreams. I'm gonna go in there and get to the nitty gritty. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what it is. Because one thing I don't want is people in my industry going in there for the false, hope.
Yeah, false advertisement.
All that. So I go in there and I'm like, real quick, why did you join school? Why are you trying to be a barber? And one of them was just like, I don't know, because it's cool. And I was like, all right, cool. How about you? He's like, I don't know, it's popping. And I was like, man, see, you guys are in it for the wrong reasons, man. I'm like, you got to understand, dude. You see where I'm at today? Who knows me? A couple people raise their hand. I'm like, I'm in here because I had no choice at the time. This was a lifestyle. I was in it before it became a thing. So now that it's a thing, I take pride in it because I feel like I was in the front line of making barbering what it is. And then if you don't have that same passion and you're just in it because you see your favorite barber on Instagram flexing, buying a new car, traveling the world and all that, you're going to find out real quick how much bullshit you got to go through before you even get to that. 100%. So as an apprentice, Los, because you were part of that era, that Mr. Official, and we're going to have him next week. I'm excited. This guy opened official cuts 24/7. Let me rephrase that. 365. Never closed.
I was gonna say, bro.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
That's what it felt like.
Mind you, at the time, he was open from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. Literally. Only closed on Christmas. Only. There was a time where a lot of barbers, and I know a lot of barbers can relate to this, were at the shop and a lot of people don't like to speak, but when the boss is away, everybody wants to talk. But when the boss comes, everybody shuts up. I was never like that. Me working next to Mr. Official, I always spoke my mind. I was always sharing my ideas and sharing this and sharing that. And I remember one time specifically that some of the barbers were like, hey, are we going to close early on Easter or are we going to have Easter off? And Mr. Official was like, hell no. What? Where do you guys want Halloween off next? Like, no. So nobody, when he said hell no, everybody stayed quiet.
Yeah, shut down.
And then, it is what it is. I stood quiet because I was just like, well, I get to do what I want. So now I'm at a level where I can do whatever. He's not going to question me. And he looks at me, he's like, Los, he's like, is Easter important? And and I looked at him and I was like, well, yeah, it's like Christmas, man. This is Jesus' resurrection, bro. Like, it's a big thing. Like, people have off. So Yak felt bad because he didn't know he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
They celebrate Eid. Now that he's a lot more knowledgeable. And I feel like Yak, over the years, has become more lenient. Because just finding out that you put a PlayStation 5 in the back room with a couch,
Yes, sir,
to
I
me,
did. That was me.
dude,
I couldn't even, bro.
I couldn't even have a TV in the back room. He would be like, hell no, the back room is meant to be to eat and go back to work.
Yep.
Like, literally, your family member had to die for you to have a day off. Unexpected. Like, you have to have a death in the family.
You have to be on crutches.
Hey,
Even
yeah,
if on
hey,
crutches,
Yak,
you might still have to.
Hey, Yak, I want you to comment on this.
I'm telling you because that's what it was. It was because one thing about Yak is that I actually had to share with him. It was like, look, Yak, you're a fucking grinder. You're a hustler, bro. I'm a grinder. I'm a hustler. But you have to understand, not everybody is. So you can't expect everyone to work the way you and I work. And obviously, as the generation gets younger, I mean, as life goes by, the generation gets softer. All of a sudden, people want rights. You know, they want rights. They want 2 days off.
So what you mean? I can't have 3 lunches and 2 breaks.
They want to leave early. They want this. They want that. They want all these incentives because no one wants to put in the fucking work. Right. So I came from the era, dude, where like I remember once telling Mr. Official, I was like, yo, bro, I haven't seen my family in months. I wake up when they're sleeping or they're at work, and I come home when they're sleeping. And it hit me one time where I went to like a family gathering finally, like quinceañera, and I looked at my dad and my mom, and everybody just looked older. Yeah. And I was like, damn, have I been away? And that's what made me ask him, like, dude, I need 2 days off. I need to spend time with my family. But that's what it was back then. Now, what advice do you give anyone that's taking an apprenticeship, man, from your experience personally?
Like you said, you have to go into it for the right reasons. You can't half-ass anything. Everything has to have purpose. Right. When you wake up, what is your purpose in the morning? When you walk through the door, you have to leave everything that came with you at the door and shut it off. Yeah. You know, everything you do, from the clip that you put on to the razor to the techniques you're using to the products that you're using, has to have purpose. Right. And if you have that and you can answer it yourself, if you can teach yourself on the fly while you're doing every single step, every movement, every breath you're taking, every word you're speaking, down to everything, to the food you're eating. If you can tell yourself why you're doing it, you're heading in the right direction, and you're going to be all right. It may take long. You're going to have moments where, you know, you plateau for a very long time, and one day it's just going to snap. It's going to literally click out of nowhere. And I had a lot of those experiences where I almost wanted to quit a few times.
Dude, this guy wanted to fucking quit to go do a government job in a cubicle. Yeah. And his reason was like, was it security?
Yeah, it was just security, you know, my mom and just making her happy. And, just, you know, all
dude, we spoke about that, bro. We spoke about season 1, bro. Because being like anything that's not blue collar, our Mexican parents would be like,
well, he's Puerto Rican, so.
Or Latino parents. I represent.
I'm Mexican at the shop, bro.
Okay, you Mexicano, está bien.
But I remember sitting with him, and me and you both, he did his own thing. I did my thing, and I was like, look, dude, don't do it. Because even though it's a security, I get it, you're going to be miserable.
Absolutely. And it was the best decision I made.
Didn't make.
Yeah. Was exactly. Didn't make. But just keep going, man. Just don't stop. And if you're gonna, if it's somebody else from the outside that's not inside of, you know, internally telling you, hey, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, just ignore them. Do it for what you feel you want to do. You know, and no matter what, you're gonna be successful at whatever you choose to do.
This episode is sponsored by Babyliss Pro, the sickest, the best clipper company, in my opinion. And speaking of clippers, Los, you know, we always try to give people for being on our stage, on our set. And to me, I mean, I wanted to gift you with a couple things. So the first thing I want to gift you with is something light, a little bit. Just wanted to give you a nice little hat. A little go hat with a pin.
Beautiful.
But the next thing,
rock the merch. I've been rocking the merch.
I see you. I seen the merch. Beautiful.
My hat is on my station, so I wear the hat every day.
I appreciate that. So what goes better than the shirt and the hat? Beautiful. How about this brand new set of Los Cutted clippers, man? Do you have one already?
No, I've actually been mad at Jack because he has all your stuff.
All right, so I'm blessing you with a brand new brand new pair of Los Cutted Boost clippers.
Which camera am I in? This one?
That's you right there.
Let's check it out.
No, enjoy, bro. I hope you like it. I hope you put it to work.
I will.
And but yeah, dude,
thank you so much.
It's a blessing to have you here, bro. It's dope seeing you.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be here.
You play a big role in like what I've become because we went to school together. You were the first person that I took in to teach without ever being like, hey, I'm taking on an apprenticeship. Right. You were just somebody that I saw something in.
It happened really naturally and genuinely, yeah.
And it happened, and then it was a success. You are my proof of concept. Yeah. And every time I see your work, every time I see your videos when Yak and people repost it, even when you post it, and I see how much of a beast you are, bro, it just makes me proud because to me, I'm like, imagine if I would have never told you that, what would you be doing today?
Ooh, man, I don't know. Because it's crazy because the way I found out about that job, it was, I don't know if this was the first year I was there or the second year. I was pretty sure it was the first year. I had applied for the job early in the year. I had gone downtown. I was in a suit, nice watch, nice shoes, whatever, right? We take a shop trip to Cancun.
Oh my God.
And you don't know this, but they called me on the vacation and told me I got the job. And now I'm here with...
This is when all that happened?
Yes, when all that happened, I had gotten the phone call saying from the boss that interviewed me. It's like, hey, we just want to let you know that thank you for coming in and we want to hire you. You've been approved for the job. And I'm over here like, I'm looking around and everybody's just around me. I'm like, oh, dude, I got to walk away for a second. So naturally, I had to accept it because I needed time to think. I'm on vacation. This is the worst time to tell me that kind of news right now.
Was this before or after the incident?
I want to say after.
So you were really going through some shit.
Oh, yeah, emotions were super deep. That was a crazy trip. But yeah, I had found out, and you know, it was too much that time. So.
All right. But now you're a barber, man.
But,
now,
yeah.
before we let you go, bro, what's your ultimate goal, man? Because you're still young, you know. And I speak for I'm 35. You're 31. You're gonna be 31.
I'm gonna be 31. Yeah.
You're entering. You're not in. You're entering your prime years, bro. I promise you that.
Yeah, I believe that.
Oh,
I believe
dude.
that. I actually just watched the video and it's hit me so hard the other day. You grind in your 20s. It was the opposite of information.
You learn in your 20s.
You're supposed to grind your ass off. Can I say ass on it? Okay. You're supposed to grind your fucking ass off in your 20s.
He says, "Can I say ass?" And then you add the plug.
Fucking right.
Yes.
Like, well, if you approve
the
ass,
fuck
I'm
you
definitely
can
saying fucking.
say
Okay?
ass.
But you grind your fucking ass off in your 20s, and everything, the rest of your life will just flourish. You know, and it was kind of like the opposite that I learned in the beginning. It was like, yo, enjoy your 20s. You're young. You got energy. Go out, meet people, do this, do that. And I was like, yeah, nah, I should have, you know, not that I didn't. I was like in my mid-20s when I started really going hard at it. But yeah, grind your 20s,
You're entering.
flourish.
And then
your
how
30s.
old is Anna?
Anna's 28. She'll be 29 this year.
Dude, yeah, you guys are good.
She's
bro.
doing nails now.
Shout out Anna.
Shout out to my baby. She's doing amazing. She's flourishing. She's seeing this side of entrepreneurship.
Nice.
She's not used to that. So throughout all the years, it was very difficult through marriage to try to teach,
dude, of course.
you know, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Now she gets to see it for herself and she's understanding it and actually motivating me even more than I've ever been. So
That's it should, man.
That's the purpose of everything.
Well, dude, man, you're man. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
To say the least.
Proud of you as well.
Thank you, brother. And man, it's beautiful to catch up, bro. Honestly, like I said, if we didn't have a timer on here,
we could keep
sit
going.
here. Yeah, we could sit here and talk all day.
Days.
We could definitely get Mr. Official on the next week episode. He's gonna be fired for that one. And we're definitely gonna be bringing a lot of these stories up that we brought in today.
Oh, for sure.
But for everybody watching, man, I'm gonna let Carlos let you know where you can find him up if you want to follow him. He does accept his link is open, right? You're open to the public.
Yeah.
So if you're from Chicago, if you're from the South Side or anywhere in the area, hit him up. This guy is a beast. He is a savage. Let him know where to find you, man. That's
You guys can find me on Instagram, Loso_OC. Book me on loso.booksy.com.
Dope, man. All right, guys. Stay tuned for the next episode. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And let us know who you want to see next, man. We're curious to know what you want to
Another Carlos.
Another.
Tocayo episode. Tocayo episode.
I'll be in the back with Ricky.
Stay tuned, man. Let's go on to the next one.
Let's go.
Salute.
Appreciate y'all.
Sheesh.
Nice.